All right, guys, so that's them all in. As you can see, I'll just torque them all up to 12 Newton meters. All right. All right, so I'll just give them a wee, just a wee wipe there. That's it. All right, so that's that. And then now I can put the wee, these wee clips in. And like I was saying there, we've got this little flap here. And the, you know, obviously the screw goes out, and that wee tang just goes over that wee screw like that there. All right, and that's the way it goes. Well, you're obviously putting two screws pointing this way and two screws pointing that way in order to get them, you know, in order to get them, you get access to them, you know. So let's just, all right. And do you see the way also the tang on the screw is kind of, it's not in the middle, it's offset so that that kind of will throw that like that. You know what I mean? That sort of throws it that angle. And then the other two, will go, let me see, yeah, they'll go like that. They'll go like that there. Just put that wee, like that. That's the way that goes. There you are. That's it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put this pickup sensor in next. Here it is. And there's two tiny little screws for it here. That's the way it goes there. All right. And then this part here is to be, you know, you have to put some silicone around that part. But we'll not worry about that just at the minute. We'll want to get these two wee screws in here first. There. And they are only 5 point, where's the other wee one? Right, yeah, they're only 5.9 Newton meters, those wee ones. So I have to use my little, where's my, just make sure that that's, yeah. I have to use my little tiny wee torque wrench for to do this. I'm just nipping them up first. Okay. There it is. It's a wee, oh, so 5.9. Let's see. It's just about there. And there. That's it. Not a big lot to them, is there? Okay. So, like I was saying, this here, we need a bit of sealant around that. And again, I'm going to use this 3-bond here, 1207B. I'm going to put that around there and there. Put it around there and there. You don't want that leaking. You definitely don't want that leaking. All right. So then that just goes in there like that. That's that, and then that there just hooks up over the top of that. But anyway, that's where that goes. All right. So the other thing is, I'm going to be putting the rotor plate on now. I better wipe this stuff off my hands because it's pretty messy. I'll put the rotor plate on next, torque it up, and then you know, that's only on temporary. The rotor plate has to go on next. Where are we? There's the rotor plate. It goes over that notch, goes over that wee roll pin. All right. Then this here, this gets some thread lock. And then this notch in it goes over that roll pin like that. That goes in there like that. And then we'll tighten that up. Okay, so let's torque this here down. It's according to the manual, it's 25 Newton meters. Make sure you really restrain that. That's it. All right. So I have applied a little bit of this silicone here to that area and that area, and we're going to put the cover on. Okay. All right. So we've got a new gasket here to go on here, and then we'll put this ZRX 1200 Pulsar cover on. Okay. All right, so here's the new gasket in place on the Pulsar cover. I've got this here sealed up with silicone, these two areas, and let's fit this. All right. We'll just nip these here up first. Get them all into place, nip them up, and then torque them as usual. Right, a wee handy wee ratchet again. Come to the rescue. 9.8 Newton meters. Where's my wee 8 mil socket? Here it is. There's a specific way to, sequence to torque those, but we'll just kind of do a 9.8. We'll just kind of do a zigzag sort of one, That's about it. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, so we're going to put this coolant pipe here on. And the first thing we're going to do is put this little O-ring on here. Like that. Right. And we'll put a bit of grease around it. And put some grease up into that there on the water pump, that recess where it's going. And we'll try and get this here in. It's a bit of a push to get it in, but it might go in okay. Ah, that's it. Perfect. We've got this little screw here. And it, again, it's just 9.8 Newton meters. Goes up in underneath there like that. Okay. Right. .8. Hope this here clears. There where it's meant to be. No, I'm gonna have to get my longer extension piece on that. Okay, 1 second. All right, so I had to get that long extension piece there and a couple of wee adapters so that I can get up in there like that. That's it. Okay, guys. All right, so I've also got a wee bleed screw to go in there. And there it is, that wee titanium one there, and that copper washer. 7.8 Newton meters. That's tiny. So again, that's just a wee. There it is. Okay, that's that it. All right, guys. All right, so I've got this brand new metal coolant pipe that goes along the front of the cylinder block. Like I was saying, that is notoriously difficult to get off from off an engine after it's been on for a while, and I opted to just replace the one that was on my ZRX 1200 cylinder block with this. I opted to just leave it on the ZRX 1200 cylinder block, and this is a ZZR 1200 cylinder block. It's the same block, but it's just the pistons came out of it, so it made sense to just use it. And so I've bought a brand new one, and new O-rings for it as well. 4 new O-rings for it, and you'll have seen the part number and everything for this in the part 1 of this 2-part buttoning up video regarding this this engine. So I just put the O-rings on there, and put the just a little bit of grease around the there on them. It shouldn't be too difficult to push this in because it's new, and you know, the O-rings and everything's new, and you know, but it's a blinking nightmare when it comes to taking the old one out. So anyway, and it goes like this, you know, obviously this part goes to the bottom. It's retained with 2 little screws, one goes there and one goes there. So I'll just push this into place. Hopefully it'll go in without a problem. He said, oh my goodness, thought it would have been easy, but is it easy? Oh, that's it. That's it. Goodness, if that's a sample of what it's like putting them in when they're brand new, you can just picture what it's like getting them out when they're old. Anyway, there's two more of the little taper head cap screws that I'd machined. I'll just put a wee bit of blue thread lock on those, and those are 9.8 Newton meters. Where's my wee trusty ratchet to get that in? Okay. Just nip these up first. Do the second one, and then it'll be 9.8 on these. Oh, aye, this one's to go underneath. Where are we? My hands are probably in the way there, you know, but I think you get the gist anyway of what's going on. That's that. Where's my wee thing? 9.8 on the torque wrench. Use this. I mean, you're putting on blue thread lock on that there, but quite frankly, I don't know. Even if them screws was to drop out, you wonder would that ever fall out? Right, okay. So at the end here, there's like a little bleed or vent screw or something like that. You know, it goes into the end. Here's it here. It's another one of these wee titanium ones that has that I searched, and has a wee 10 millimeter head for a head for a 10 millimeter socket, and it has a copper washer. Now, I mean, the manual says that that's to be 9.8 Newton meters, but it also has to have blue thread lock on, which really doesn't make any sense, because you know, you've got to be able to loosen it in order to you know, for it to be effective as a drain screw. So you know, how can you do that and then have a copper washer on to seal it anyway? Okay, so it doesn't make sense to me to put blue thread lock on that, but that's what the manual says to do, so you know, I'm gonna stick it on anyway. There it is. The blue thread locks on it, and it's a copper washer, so I can't follow the logic in that one, but anyway, there it is. It's going in, and again, that will be 9.8 Newton meters. So we'll do what it says. All right, so that's that. Okay guys, on to the next bit. Okay guys, so now we're going to stick on this oil line here. It's a braided oil line. I got it in America from Greg Couch, and it goes from here, this position here on the oil reel at the right hand side of the cylinder head, down to here at the front of the oil pan. Now, as I've mentioned before, I'm using, I've done a conversion where I'm using a Kawasaki ZG 1000 or Concourse, as the bike was known in the US, oil pan, and I'm doing that conversion. Normally with a ZRX 1200 or a ZRX 1100 even, oil pan, you would have a second oil line that would come round here, and it would loop round and go into a second port at the front. But that facility is not there for this. You've only got a single one. Now there is another oil line underneath. I'll show you it later. A second oil line underneath that goes to another position here, which I've made an adapter for. Don't know if you can see it, but it's there anyway. And you know, so but anyway, so we've really only got one port on the front of this oil pan. The second oil line goes in underneath it in the Concourse one, which is a conversion that I've done. So we're coming from here, and I'm using also Greg Couch's beautiful billet banjo bolts. I've also used another two here on the sides. This is a stock. He does an oil reel as well, but this one here is, which I have on my 2005 bike, but this oil reel here is the stock ZRX one. And also here at this position is what you call, or Kawasaki even refers to it as, a special banjo bolt. And what it is, you'll see that it's a special because, you know, it's very unusual in that it has, you know, like a broad shank to it, and then it steps down to a narrower diameter thread. And normally what happens is, you know, I mean, you've just got one crush washer there, and then you've got this big spacer, and you know, your oil line goes in there, and then this spacer goes on, and the spacer actually doubles up as a crush washer, and you know, because it's aluminium, you don't really need one. But because I'm using these this type of an oil line here, and it has this you know, all these this fitment here at the end of it. The stock one doesn't have that, obviously, because it's a, you know, it just comes down and it just goes into you know, a banjo connector. But you know, I am going to put an additional crush washer on as well as that, because without it, what ends up happening is the inside of that touches that, so it's just to give me a slight wee bit of clearance, you know, a wee bit of extra clearance, really. So anyway, you put that in there like that, right? And then you'd normally put your big, you know, your big spacer on next, and that would be it. Away you'd go. But I'm going to put this this copper washer on here, and then put this on. All right. So that'll just go on there like that. It's just to step it out a fraction more, you know, and that's really just all there is to that. All right, and then this is the top one here. So you're basically just in you go, that one, and then that just goes on there like that. All right, and both of those are torqued to 25 Newton meters. Where's the bottom one? It's 14. It's a 14 mil, 25 Newton meters. Which is there. It'll always want to kind of, you know, move a wee bit whenever I do this, but I'll try and restrain it from doing that. Okay, that's that. And now the top one. It's a bigger, it's a 22 mil socket. So let's see. All right, guys, that's that. Done. Coming on well. Okay.